So I want you to picture a great sandwich. Probably one of the best sandwiches in the store called isekai. Except whenever you bite into the sandwich, after a good couple bites, you taste this weird plastic piece in the sandwich. It's just placed there for some reason. You just taste it, it's annoying, you spit it out, you continue eating your nice sandwich. But then, after a while, this piece of plastic just comes back again somehow in the damn sandwich. And it becomes very annoying and uncomfortable to have this piece of plastic just in your mouth. You keep spitting it out, going back to your sandwich, and it keeps happening again and again. Now imagine this piece of plastic is reincarnated into the body of a child. Jobless Reincarnation is one of the strangest anime to me. Because on one hand, I think the writing, characters, world building, the magic system, the animation, the music is all fantastic, and I would highly recommend people watch it. But on the other hand, the protagonist Rudy is such an unlikable, horrific piece of shit that I can't even stand him half the time. Now, don't get me wrong, this whole point of Rudy is to be unlikable and to have a redemption arc. That's the whole point of the character. Also, I just want to mention that I am following the dub. So the dub, from what I've been told, does soften Rudy a little bit in certain aspects of his dialogue delivery, from what I've been told. And I am also on episode, I believe, 16 or 19. So I'm not fully caught up with the anime yet. So all of the bad things that Rudy has done could catch up to him before the end of the first season. I'm not sure yet. And the thing is, I want to say that I would like Rudy to be better, but then it would feel like another generic isekai of a protagonist being perfect in every way, and I would hate that. And it honestly would make Rudy even more boring, if I'm being honest, because as Rudy is now, as creepy and disgusting as he is, he's anything but boring. If you are sensitive to this type of stuff, I would not recommend you watch this anime. However, if you can stomach it and can get through it, it is a very good ride. I don't blame you if you don't want to watch this anime with Rudy's antics. I really don't. I think that Rudy's antics are, quite frankly, disgusting and immoral a lot of the time, and does actually begin to fuck up the story in a way. For example, at the beginning of the story, Rudy is just a creepy, perverted guy reincarnated into a body, but he's not gotten to the point where I can't deal with his antics, and I am generally enjoying the story as it goes on. And you see everyone around him be flawed, and you see him trying to learn things and develop, and I think it's generally very good at this point. I think the first couple episodes are very good. It's slow, but awesome. And you see the flashbacks to his old life and how fucked up his life used to be, and how people treated him in school, and why that turned him into a nerd that just wanted to stay inside and not go outside and see anything because he's just so scared of the world because the world treated him so poorly. And then you see him grope a sleeping child, and then it makes you ask the question, was he treated poorly because he did things like this in his life? Or was he treated poorly because he was fat and otaku? And as much as people are going to say, oh, it's because he's an otaku, there's nothing in the show so far that confirms that it was only specifically because he is a nerdy otaku. For all we know, he could have done something bad in school, like pull the girl's skirt up and look at her underwear, been pervy and grope somebody. No, we don't know. Obviously, people in school would have treated him poorly and taken pictures of him and done all these horrible things. And it brings into question my feelings of the character and whether I should feel bad for him or not. And everything he does after this is, again, polluted because of the fact that he does creepy, gropey things to children and tries to watch them even bathe. So every time something bad happens to Rudy, I'm sitting there thinking, you deserve this, you fucking creep. And I don't feel bad for him at all. Now, if that's the point, okay, but the problem with that is it detaches me from the character. And whenever Rudy actually succeeds at something, I don't feel good about it because it's a fucking while succeeding at something. Now, do I think Rudy is a bad person? No, he's shown multiple times that he does care about people and he does want to help people, but his personality and his perverted antics ruin this a lot of the time, and I'm waiting for the show to clap back at him hard. I'm honestly hoping that the show exposes Rudy for what he actually is. I would love it if somehow they discovered he's actually a reincarnated 40-year-old man in a child's body, and everyone just disowns him. And then you start seeing the actual repercussions of his actions, and I would absolutely love that, and I think that would help the character along a lot. That being said, I want to talk about the good stuff in this anime because there's a lot of good stuff. The characters, the world building, the magic system, the animation, the soundtrack, all of that is fantastic. Every episode starts with this really good music that I really like to hear every time, and it just feels really good. There's never a long-winded intro that has the same animation. It's always something new. It's showing new areas, new people. It's always really cool, and the world in this anime is very interesting. There's multiple different species of race. They have their own cultures. They have people that are just, like I said, horrific human beings, but also have a different side to them that make them better people at the same time. The leader of the Grey Rats, this ugly fuck, is a ginormous rapist who likes to jump into the guts of cat people. Yet he's still a very caring grandfather. Paul Grey Rat is a disgusting, irredeemable man who is a caring father. Roxy is a really interesting character. She's really kind, loving to Rudy, and also possibly the as well. I don't know. Why did she tell Rudy as a 60-year-old to find her when he's all grown up? Ugh. Eris starts as a very annoying, bratty child who's just overly aggressive and, quite frankly, a little cunt. However, that never stopped me from cheering for her when she beat the shit out of Rudy. Hit him harder, you bitch! Do it! Do it! But she develops into a very nice, caring girl who is willing to give people a chance, and she even learns a different language to try to learn and talk with people. She starts in a really bad place. Not as bad as Rudy, but she's just a really unlikable character. And then she just becomes good near the middle of the season. And she's sweet, she's aggressively caring, and she is very, very loyal. And you start to like this character quite a lot, even though the show constantly tries to sexualize her through Rudy's eyes, and it's really, really fucking gross. Ghislaine is an incredibly aged character. She is clearly an adventurer who went through a lot of shit growing up, and she realizes that just being a all-out brawler isn't the best way to go. She's in her mid-30s, late 20s? I'm not really sure, but she still doesn't know how to read or do math, so she has Rudy teach her. She also wants to learn to do magic. She's a great, amazingly powerful warrior, but she knows that she needs to learn and adapt better to the world. And it makes her really interesting, and I really want to see more of this character. Ruijerd is a really interesting character because he's technically a demon, and the majority of people in this world hate his race. And he has a really strict code of conduct. He wants to protect children. Whatever children are to him is confusing. He will strictly kill bad people without hesitation. And because of Rudy being incredibly uncomfortable with death, he had to kind of pull that aspect back for himself because he respects Rudy so much that he's willing to take his morals and put it on the side to help Rudy on his quest. And it makes him a more interesting character because of that. He's willing to put his needs above his morals because he needs to help Rudy, and he wants to take his people's name and fix it. He wants people to not be scared of his race. And it's really interesting because you see people slowly understand that he's not a bad person. Hell, fucking, out of all the characters, one of the most unlikable people in the entire show, Paul Grey Rat, really just looks at this guy and is like, oh, you're one of those bad people that I've been told so much about, but you protected my son, so you can't be bad. You have to be good if you're this kind of a person. So I guess all of that bullshit people were talking about before wasn't true. And I'm like, holy shit, Paul is actually not that much of an idiot. I think that if you're someone who can stomach really uncomfortable adult themes, you should be able to get through the show. There are scenes where they do not hold back with Rudy's antics and are really gross. And if anyone tries to defend these scenes, I don't know what to tell you. You're just wrong, man. Like, he's groping a child. Like, get the fuck out of here. Every time Rudy's by himself with another young girl, it makes me incredibly uncomfortable. And I genuinely wish they would pull a lot more back on his antics, at least near the end more. I would like more of him developing faster, but I understand that the whole point of the show is to be a slow burn. That's a reason why we're going through his younger years so slowly instead of hopping straight to his adulthood. But it's still really hard to watch sometimes and very unsettling. The more you think about the fact that he's a fully grown adult mentally and he's okay with doing the things he's doing. But I guess at the end of the day, the ultimate question for people when they watch this show, whether people like it or not, is, are you okay with watching a pedophile succeed and change and try to become a better person? Because Rudy is trying to become better. He wants to be better. He wants to change to be a good person. But it's such a slow change that it's hard to watch sometimes. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Jobless Reincarnation. If you guys have watched Jobless Reincarnation, please let me know in the comments down below. Let's talk about it. This is probably the one time where I'll ask, please try to keep it civil if anyone does comment on this video. Because, like, this is one of those weird situations where the protagonist starts a lot of really weird conversations online that some people get really angry about, and I don't blame them. But that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!